Imagine yourself living a tranquil and loving life with your family, when suddenly a secretly installed listening device reveals a secret that threatens to shatter everything you know and love. Kaleo, a devoted husband and loving father, finds himself in this exact situation when he discovers, through an inadvertently captured conversation, that his daughter is encouraging his wife to betray him. This story takes Kaleo on a journey of suspicion, pain, and ultimately self-discovery, unveiling layers of secrets and unspoken truths within his own home. Accompany us on this tale of love, betrayal, and redemption as we explore the depths of the human heart and the complexity of family bonds. Kaleo never imagined that a simple listening device purchased out of curiosity from a gadget store would change his life forever. It was a peaceful Saturday afternoon, and he decided to test the device, hiding it in the potted plant in the living room, near the sofa where his wife and daughter often conversed. What was meant to be an innocent prank soon became a nightmare. He adjusted the volume, hoping to catch only the sound of the TV or perhaps a trivial conversation about dinner. However, when the voices of Laura and Megan began to fill the headphones, Kaleo realized that what had started as a moment of technological curiosity was about to transform into a discovery that would shake the foundations of his family. While working in his home office with the headphones connected to the device, Kaleo heard familiar voices. It was his wife, Laura, and his teenage daughter, Megan, conversing in the living room. Initially, the conversations revolved around mundane matters, such as dinner planning and Megan's school activities. But suddenly, the topic changed drastically. Kaleo leaned forward, his attention now fully focused on the conversation flowing through the headphones. He could hear the rustling of magazine pages, accompanied by Megan's voice, which seemed hesitant at first. The casualness with which the conversation unfolded thereafter left him stunned. It was as if he had stumbled into a parallel universe where the two people he loved most were conspiring against him. Megan began to talk about her parents' marriage, saying that she felt her mother was unhappy and deserved more from life. Kaleo felt his heart tighten, but nothing could have prepared him for what was to come. "Mom, have you ever thought about being with someone else? Someone who would truly make you happy?" Megan's question echoed through Kaleo's office, leaving him paralyzed. The hesitation in Megan's voice was palpable, as if she were treading on unfamiliar territory, questioning the very limits of family loyalty. The pause before Laura's response was agonizing, leaving Kaleo hanging in a tense silence. He never would have imagined that his own daughter, whom he had cradled and cared for since birth, could suggest something so radical and transgressive. It was a reality too alternative for him to absorb, a distorted whisper that shattered the normalcy of his existence. Initially, Laura rejected the idea, but Megan persisted, arguing that her father, although a good man, was no longer the same, and that her mother was losing the best years of her life. Megan even suggested that Laura meet someone online, someone who shared her interests and desires. Laura's reluctance faded as the conversation unfolded, which deeply shocked Kaleo. The conversation between mother and daughter took an unexpected turn, with Megan detailing how Laura could create a profile on a dating website, highlighting the precautions she should take to keep everything secret. Kaleo, hidden behind the office door, felt each word like a dagger. The shock of hearing his own daughter orchestrating his wife's betrayal was surreal. He wanted to interrupt, to scream, but he was paralyzed, a silent spectator of his own tragedy. Kaleo struggled to believe what he was hearing. The idea of his daughter encouraging his wife to betray him was something he could never have imagined. Feeling betrayed by two of the most important people in his life, he knew he had to act. But how could he confront his family about something he had heard in secret? The situation placed Kaleo in a terrible moral and emotional dilemma. As he pondered his options, the conversation in the potted plant continued, bringing more details and plans that pierced his heart. The notion of confrontation frightened him, not only because of the revelation of his invasion of privacy, but also because of the fear of losing his family completely. Kaleo's anguish was palpable, a mix of disbelief, pain, and the bitter irony of his accidental discovery. In the following days, Kaleo found himself in a constant state of anxiety and confusion. He began to observe his wife and daughter more closely, searching for signs of infidelity or discontent. However, everything seemed normal, as if the conversation he had heard had never happened. Laura was as affectionate as ever, and Megan the loving and attentive daughter. This only served to increase Kaleo's torment, making reality almost unbearable. He wondered if he had heard everything wrong or if he had somehow misinterpreted the words. With each gesture of affection from Laura, Kaleo questioned whether there was sincerity or if they were just acts of a well-rehearsed plot. The uncertainty eroded his peace of mind, transforming each shared moment into a silent investigation where every smile and every embrace were potentially a lie. Determined to find answers, Kaleo began to investigate more deeply. He installed monitoring software on the home computer and Laura's cell phone, something he never thought he would do. What he found in the following days left him even more perplexed and horrified. Flirtatious messages with an unknown man, clandestine meetings arranged in discreet locations. Laura was, in fact, following Megan's advice. As he traced the messages and the meetings, a sense of betrayal deepened in his heart. Kaleo felt as if he were living a nightmare, watching the woman he loved drift further away with each passing day. The evidence before his eyes was irrefutable, and the pain he felt was indescribable. Each message read was like a stab, each discovered meeting a blow that made him question everything he believed about his marriage and his family. Consumed by anger and betrayal, Kaleo confronted Laura. The discussion that followed was intense and emotionally devastating. Laura confessed that the conversation with Megan had awakened in her feelings that she had suppressed for years. She spoke of the loneliness and dissatisfaction she felt in her marriage, things that Kaleo had never perceived or perhaps chosen to ignore. The confrontation was a moment of painful catharsis for both. Kaleo, struggling to maintain his composure, demanded to know why she had not come to him, why she had felt the need to seek solace in the arms of another. Laura, with tears in her eyes, expressed her fear of being judged and of destroying the family. Her confession brought no relief, only more questions and an overwhelming sense of loss. Kaleo realized that, though they shared a home, they had lived in separate worlds for years. The revelation opened a deep wound in the relationship between Kaleo and Laura. The trust that had been the foundation of their marriage for so many years crumbled in a matter of days. Kaleo felt betrayed not only by Laura, but also by Megan, whose innocent suggestion had unleashed a series of events that might have been inevitable. The weight of the situation crushed him, making him question the meaning of family, love, and loyalty. Amid the emotional storm, Kaleo found himself facing the most difficult challenge of his life: to forgive, to fight for the reconstruction of his marriage, or to accept the end of an era in his life. The pain of betrayal mingled with the sadness of the loss of the family unity he had so valued. Now, more than ever, Kaleo needed to find the strength to decide the path forward, knowing that any choice would bring with it its own set of challenges and sacrifices. As Kaleo struggled to understand how all this had happened, he began to realize that Laura's betrayal was just the tip of the iceberg. The problems in his marriage were deeper and more complex than he had ever imagined. The situation forced Kaleo to reflect on his own role in the relationship's problems and on what it truly means to love and be loyal to someone. As the days passed, he became aware that he had neglected fundamental aspects of his marriage, focusing more on his work and less on his family. This realization led him to a painful but necessary introspection. Kaleo began to understand that the reconstruction of his life and his marriage, if there was still something to be saved, would require a profound change within himself. The journey ahead would be long and full of uncertainties, but it was a journey he was willing to undertake, in the hope of rediscovering love, trust, and perhaps himself. In the end, the conversation overheard by Kaleo not only revealed a painful truth about his family, but also led him on a journey of self-discovery and rediscovery. Laura and Megan's decision to leave Kaleo, although shocking, was the brutal awakening he needed to re-evaluate his life, his priorities, and what he truly values. Amidst the devastation, Kaleo found a strange sense of freedom and the opportunity to start anew, alone, but with a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. This shocking outcome, though painful, opened doors to a new chapter in Kaleo's life. One where he could rediscover himself and perhaps find happiness in a way he had never considered, reflecting on the mistakes of the past and the possibilities of the future. Kaleo realized that true happiness and fulfillment come from within, and that sometimes it is necessary to lose everything to truly find oneself. And you, what would you do in Kaleo's place? Faced with such a profound and painful betrayal, how would you react? This story shows us that sometimes the greatest challenges in life can lead to surprising discoveries about ourselves and those we love. Kaleo's journey, though marked by pain and loss, is also a story of growth, forgiveness, and the search for true happiness. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to continue following more stories like this. I'll see you in a new story. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the new stories we receive anonymously to share with you.